Okay, thank you for joining. I'm Abhishek and I teach Power BI and Data Analytics within Isha Training Solutions. So this batch is for Power BI. Before I start, have you guys among you used Power BI or Tableau before? Any one of you?
No, sir.
Okay, you can unmute and talk. There is no problem because instead of chat, I'll be on the different screen. Don't. It's okay. You can just unmute and talk. I am fine, comfortable with that. Or else you can put in the chat always. Right. So this session is about demo, like what all you are going to learn, what all topics are going to be covered within Power BI, and what is the level of advance like measures or that we write within the session. And then end of the day, what are you going to learn in this Power BI course? That is what I'll be going through. And then if you have any questions or doubts regarding what is going to be taught or what is your expectation, you can always unmute and ask. And keep it interactive because it is a demo and even the other session after the demo also more interaction is increased, right? So all right, I hope you guys can see my screen. We will start with uh, tomorrow we'll start with one of the easiest like more correlating topic. Like I've taken data sets of cricket of 2023 World Cup, and this data is connected with three different excels. Okay, and three different excels we have to bring together, do the mapping, data modeling, and finally make it into a view where we understand what has happened in that tournament, like who was the most top scoring batsman or who has taken more wickets. Or if Virat Kohli has scored 765 runs, within 765 runs, how many scores he has scored in sixes or how many in fours and how many times did he get out, such kind of things. And if Mohammad Shami was the top wicket taker in that tournament, like how many runs did he concede and how many wickets did he take and then how many sixes he got it for or 27 fours that he got hit for. And end of the day, when you watch cricket, I am assuming most of the population here would understand cricket. And if you don't understand, you can ask me if you don't understand some of the stat on screen. So now in the front end, you are seeing, okay, in this tournament, 23,000 runs odd were scored, 644 sixes were scored, and 2,241 fours, and 729 wickets in total. And India was in the top of the table in this tournament. And you can see right away on the screen, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma were the top run scorers. And then Mohammad Shami, Adam Zampa were the top wicket takers. And this is table form, this is graph form, and then this is net run rate. The positive ones are on the green side, negative ones are there or on the red side. And if I go further in detail, okay, so here there is a bug actually. This one, Arun Jaitley Stadium, it is showing in USA. Why that has happened? Sometimes with the Microsoft Maps, that would have caused the issue. But end of the day, the tournament was played in India. And if you see on the left side, this is the normal globe map. Other one is the field map. Okay. If I wanted to know how many matches were played in Hyderabad, I can click on this and it will navigate me to Hyderabad. And then, okay, three matches were played in which none of India played in this matches. Okay. And I can go and click on India here and then get to see because I clicked on Hyderabad, that is not pointing out. But when I click on India, it is pointing here. And then accordingly it is taking me. That's fine. We will see why this slicer is there here. And other than that, suppose I want to see in Punjab how many matches were played, Himachal Pradesh. Okay. And then stats, right? All of this. How did we build this graph? Okay, what is the underlying data? What is the data connection? Okay, I'm just giving a glimpse of it, and then we will see what all you will learn. What is the data source for it? So what I've done, I've just Googled when I built this dashboard. Okay, and one thing in this course is nothing will be on PPT, nothing will be on Word or something like that. Everything will be all the sessions for Power BI. Generally, I take 23, 24 hours or basing on the number of questions that you guys ask. Generally, it is 22 to 25 sessions, 25 hours that it will take for me to finish the course. And it is Monday to Friday, IST hours, same time. Okay. Everything will be on Power BI only. I'll be building with the data sets that I am taking. Okay. Then for this right now, you might have already seen on the YouTube, or if you haven't seen also, it's fine. Everything will be from the basic alcar, like how to connect to a data set and all. So here I've connected to three different data sets. One is delivery stable, matches table, and points table. What are these three tables? Let me go pick them up. So this is my folder. In this, these many Power BIs will be covered. Okay, and then the data set, all this will be dropped into OneDrive once you register to the course, and I will teach you everything in the session, and then accordingly you can go and practice, or you can ask questions, or if you do something more than me and you find something is not working for you, you can always ask in the sessions. Okay, right, and then let me open the data set. Okay, this is one, and this is two, and this is three. Okay. Okay. Right. So three tables, matches table, deliveries table, points table. All three are coming from your CSV files, like comma separated files. When you, if you don't understand what is comma separated file, nothing but it is a text file where the data within the file is separated by comma. If I open this in Notepad, yeah, you see somewhat like this. But end of the day, this is nothing. When you open in Excel, it will start to reflect in tabular format only, right? So here, as I told you, points table, matches table, deliveries table. Let me close this notepad. I don't want that now. Okay. So this is points table. Very straightforward, nothing great here. I'm having ranking of the team, how many matches they played, how many matches they won, what are the total points, and what is the net run rate. This is what I was consuming for building this here, like the table, this graph, and then the run rate. Okay. This is very straightforward, easy also. Nothing great here. I'll minimize this. And then matches table. This is where it tells me, okay, Narendra Modi Stadium, New Zealand played against England in the first match. Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, Hyderabad, Pakistan versus Netherlands. So this is me. This is telling me what was the venue and the city where which team played. Okay, right. And it is also telling me who was the winner of the match, and then who was the player of the match. Okay, and who won the toss and all, and how many runs they won by, or how many wickets they won by. So this is giving me a glimpse of stat, like okay, where the match was played, who was player of the match, and how many runs or wickets they won by. So this I can use for this venue details. Your player of the match, winner of the match, won by runs, won by wickets, and then where the match was played, and this graph can be plotted. Okay, then once that is done, the main table. Where am I getting the details, like, okay, how many fours a batsman has scored, how many sixes a batsman has scored, how many runs in total a batsman has scored. That is coming through deliveries detail table. Okay. So if you guys don't understand, you can just stop me and ask. I'm just making you understand how the data is and how that can be end of the day transformed into a visual. Okay. So this tells me, like, okay, ball by ball, how many runs or what has happened in the entire tournament. So if you see 23,427 runs, that is what you see in total. 23,427 runs have been scored. But if you see here, I'm getting to know the stadium. Getting to know the date of the match. First innings, 0.1 ball. It was bowled by Trent Bolt to Bairstow, and I am able to see that he did not score any run. Second ball of the tournament, 0.2, Trent Bolt, Bairstow, 6 runs. He hit a 6. And then like that, similar way, for suppose you want to choose striker, Virat Kohli, we can do that. Okay. Kohli played in fifth match, second innings, 0.6 ball against Mitchell Stark. He did not score any. And then if you see, he scored a 4 here, right? So like that, I am able to see a batsman, like each ball when he played, how many runs he scored, and then now if I scroll further to the right, how will I know which bowler has taken how many wickets? There is no such column here, but I have a wicket type column. Okay, if I select bold, okay, this guy Phillips, he bowled Ali, and then that was on 21.2. Okay, suppose I go filter for Adam Zampa here. Okay, and I have all the balls, deliveries that he has made, and then I will remove blanks. So here I get to know Adam Zampa, what type of, like, what was the type of the wicket that he has captured, and then who were the batsmen that were dismissed, and then how, like, which team they belong to also, right? End of the day, I will know caught how many, LBW how many, stopped how many, all these things, right, by Adam Zampa. But I don't get to see the number. See, I know only wicket type, 23 wickets in total. That is what I'm showing on the Power BI also, right? But how did I convert this into a number? Correct. How did I get into a graph, that to a multi-row card? All this, now that depends on the data modeling, right? I see my data set, but I'm here now. I'm not seeing, okay, straight away like Virat scored some sixes, like 10 sixes or 12 sixes, or I don't see Rohit Sharma scored some 20 sixes or something like that. I have to create columns basing on the data set that I hold, many to many. When to use what? Okay, which is better? All this will be taught to you. Okay, so now which column I should map? How to map? Is the data same in both the tables? How come if I import dataset will Power BI automatically make the joins, or should I make the joins? All this will be taught to you. Okay, that you need not worry about. This is called as model view, where you get the data sets together and finally you map the data sets if they are making on correlation. Okay, and basing on that you will tag the cardinality, which columns to join, and then what is the cross filter direction. What is cross filter direction also I'll explain. No problem. And then here in the table view, because I have imported the data, right? Within the data set, if I go here you see storage mode is there defaulted to import. I don't have any other highlight here. But in general, when we connect to databases, okay, there will be something called as import mode, direct mode, or dual mode. Okay, what is import mode? What is direct mode? What is dual mode? I will teach you that as well. Okay, we will connect the data from the database also. For that, we will be using PostgreSQL or pgadmin. We will we will create some tables over there. I'll not go depth into SQL in Power BI course, but I will show you what tables are there, what is the data that is present within the data tables, and then we will connect to the PostgreSQL database, and then we will do import mode as well, and we will do direct query mode as well, and I'll show you dual as well. So that will also be covered, storage mode. And why we should go for import mode, why we should go for direct query mode, which is benefit, which will benefit you, all those will be discussed, right? And then there is something called as DAX query view also. Then okay, you guys would have heard about measures. That is the most difficult topic within Power BI. I'll get to that. But recently, like not recently, 6 7 months back only, this DAX query view is enabled, and it is in default now within Power BI if you download. How to use this DAX query view? How it is beneficial from writing a measure, and what is the difference between this DAX query view and the measures also? That will also be covered in this course. All these topics will be covered. So now all these three data sets, once we import, we will write few calculated columns, because this is the first Power BI that you will going to learn. I'll not create measures immediately in the first Power BI. For that, I have chosen one data set which I'll open, and then over there we will write hundreds of measures. So let me open. For this data set particularly, we will create calculated columns using transform data. So here on the screen, you see a transform data, right? When I click on this transform data, this is Power Query Editor view. If you are not tech savvy, you don't know anything about writing formulas, don't worry. This transform data makes our life pretty easy, and it is Power BI is very easy. One of the easiest tool that you can learn and very fast you can pick. Within 1 2 days only you can do all the visualizations. So over here, when I go to delivery table, okay, this is where I was telling I don't know how many sixes anyone has scored, how many fours anyone has scored, but you can create data set like you when I click on transform here, almost 70% of the buttons are taught here, like pivot a column, unpivot a column, replace values, split the column. Okay, and I'll teach you Python script also, how to write Python script within Power BI also. That is one Power BI that I'll do. And then add column also. When I go here, how to add column from selection or custom column, custom function. Okay, and then duplicating column. All this like within this buttons also, what are all generally useful for us, I'll teach you, sorry. And then in delivery details table, if you see, I have created a few custom columns here. Okay, sixes, fours, wickets. Okay, how did I create? Now there are a few applied steps that I have created here, and for every step, if you see here sixes calculation. Okay, might be after that I did not rename. This is fours calculation. I can go rename this. Okay, and then this is wickets calculation. Rename. So this is the advantage with Power BI, that if you have applied any transformation on your data set, it will create a step every time. And now this Power BI I have opened after 3 months. So I can look at it right away and say, okay, I did a sixes calculation here, I did a fours calculation here, and I did a wickets calculation. If by any chance I would have not renamed, I've opened this, I would have forgotten. Then in that case, I should go to this, understand what was the formula that I've written and how I've written, and then accordingly I've renamed it now in front of you. So how to do this transformation? This will all be taught to you. Okay. This Power BI, whatever you are seeing right now, World Cup table, that is pretty simple only, but end of the day, because that will be the first Power BI that will be taught to you, we will go with slow pace and we will start with that, and then accordingly we will increase the pace. Any questions here now? Okay.
So,
Then
so
within,
Shyam,
yes,
okay. So
yes,
basically, this is just presenting the data in the nice
hmm,
way, correct? Using Power
nice
BI.
way. Right. Suppose you are Gautam Gambhir, you would want how, like, if you are Indian team coach, you would want to understand Virat Kohli got dismissed against whom. So I will click on Virat Kohli now. You see the bowler that he got dismissed against. Then you will accordingly tell Virat Kohli like how to play. So this dashboard will give you stats, right? That is what a coach or a supporting staff would require. So accordingly, you can tell, watch the videos, how he got dismissed against so and so bowler. So that is the perspective, like how you want to do data analytics of a data set which was available for World Cup tournament only in 2023. So it will present you the data. That is what was the motive behind I building this dashboard. I have a data set of cricket. What can I do with all that data set? Did I answer your question?
So yes. So thank you. So also you will teach the data bricks as well in this course.
No, no, no. Databricks is a complete Azure Databricks is a complete different topic, no? Within this
Okay.
Power BI course, 23 hours or 25 hours that it is going to take, I'll teach you almost what is available. So in the visualizations also, 90% of the visualizations will be taught to you, and even the Python visual also will be taught to you here. And then even the data transformation, almost all the buttons over there, and then how to write measures also. Because we are discussing on data transformations, so even measures also, let me open that for you. 1 second, let me bring that up. I'll get it in a notepad plus plus. Give me a moment. Okay. So measures also, what I've done, I've chosen one data set. Let me open that. Let me close this cricket for a moment. Okay. Then let me go to Office supplies. Just a moment. Give me a moment. That is. I have two Power BIs installed. Like one is in the app version, one is on the desktop version. How to install Power BI? What is the different types of license? That will also we'll speak once we start this course. Okay. Right. Now here this is a different data set where we are having different sales across different regions and different managers and different sales rep. This is connected to one data set called sales office supplies that I'll show you. But if you see here in this particular data set, I have written many measures so that how to do transformations within Power BI basing on our data set. One, this transform data I'll cover, and then we can create columns using calc table view also. Here also you can create new column, and how to create new table also will be covered. And then you have an option to create measures also. Okay, if you click on any table here, go here, new click new measure, or new measure is available. So within Power BI, how to transform data or how to add a custom column or how to add a new measure, we have different ways to do it. One is through transform data, or one is through table view, or one is by creating a measure. Okay, and then you saw there is a tax query view also, all the four methods. So all these four methods will be covered, and even for measures also. That is the good part in this course, I feel. Across 1.5 year or 2 years I've been teaching this course, I have taught almost 70-80 measures, which will count down to some 300 lines of code. And then you don't need expertise of writing a measure. I have segregated into low complexity, medium complexity, and then high complexity measures also. And I've chosen a particular data set like for sales across region or across manager or across rep. Basing on that, we are going to calculate different types of measures. Okay, this will help you transform the data, and I'll make you understand even the smallest of things, like what is sum, what is sum x, when to use sum or when to use sum x, or how to use rank, how to use round. If you see for rank also I have calculated different formulas, and even I'll teach you how to create summarized tables or summarized columns. Okay, and then we will understand how to calculate different types of, if I'm doing a business wherein I'm doing delivery of a particular product like Amazon, like for calculating a delivery cost, we can do the formula in multiple ways. So here if you see, I've calculated the cost of delivery using different formulas and different concept like related table. And then you have something called as related. What is the difference between related table? And then what if I'm delivering basing on the item that I'm delivering, what is the cost? And if you see, this is multiple nested if condition. And then there is something called a switch condition. So I've taken multiple scenarios for a single case, or I've considered multiple cases, or how we have to write formulas. All that are covered, and I am maintaining a sheet also, so that this all will be shared with you. While I do it in the course, you can watch and do it along with me, or you can go back, watch the YouTube video, practice, and the formulas are also there. If you don't understand, come back and ask me the questions. So all these things are right away set up for you, and I give the data sets and even the Power BI and the formulas also. You can go practice and come back. Okay, now your question, going back to Databricks.
So, I mean, I was about to ask where we use Databricks in Power BI, in which
No, no, no.
scenario.
No, Databricks is a completely different topic. That is for data
Different.
transformation, I understand. But that
Okay.
wouldn't be covered here. But we will
Okay.
teach you how to use Power BI efficiently for transforming the data. Either you do it three way, transform data, calculated tables, or calculated column view, or then the DAX view, and then there is something called as measures. This data set, we will write hundreds of measures, which will help you understand how to write measures. Almost everything will be covered. Any
Sir,
questions,
can I
anything?
have a question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you guys teach like a practical, like what the companies do that, and also do you guys use AI as well in the Power BI right now? Some of
Uh,
Power BI new
I
maybe
can I can
features.
try to show you how to ask Power BI like ChatGPT to write a measure for you. I can do that within our course. Like, see, all these data sets. This is not. I'll open every new Power BI and import the data, make you understand what is there within the data, and I'll build the visual for you, and I'll teach you how to create a visual. So I understand. If I am working in a project, no one will come and tell me, okay, you put a column chart here, you put a bar chart here. No one
Uh,
will tell me that. But
got
end of
it.
the day, I'll teach. Yeah,
Okay,
continue.
but how they gonna use most the companies? How they use AI in Power BI or some tools, new features like because it's new things, right? In most the
I can,
IT
so
companies.
uh, where we can use AI within Power BI is generally writing formulas, right? That is where is the difficulty. How to use ChatGPT based on the data set that we have, and then how to get the measure out of it, I can teach for you if you want
Okay.
that. I
Okay.
can do that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, this is again a simple data set only. I'm taking a sales data and I'm writing so many columns or measures to transform the data and finally build a view. Okay. This is also fine. Then let me go to one more.
Do we need license to use this Power
No,
BI, Shiva?
no. I'll speak on that also, sir. Once we install Power BI, there will be different types of license. One is Pro license, premium per user license, premium workspace, and nowadays there is something called as Fabric also. So for learning, you don't need any license, sir. But you see, right now I'm not signed in. This is my local desktop version. But if
Okay.
I want to publish, what is a publish? Where we will publish? What is a workspace? All that I will cover you all those topics, and what is the difference between a pro license, premium license, and workspace, all those I will cover. You need not worry, that I'll explain to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, I'm showing what all will be taught, but all these visuals I'll build along with you once we start the course. Okay, this is a delivery app like Swiggy or Zomato. So right, suppose I am having multiple visuals like this. Okay, I had a data set wherein I'm having how many orders have been placed by female or male, whether they are married or not, how much of money that they are spending, okay, by the population, like gender wise or profession wise, like what is their profession and how much of money that they're spending with us. All this different data sets here, tagged here, personal data, registered data, order data. This is all cooked up data from downloaded from Google. So all this data is available, but end of the day, as a company like a Swiggy or a Zomato, I should understand a delivery app company. I should understand what is their spending statistics, right? So that accordingly, I give promotions to them, like they can come back and buy again. So I can make a static graphs like this, right? I can make it by gender or by profession, or what I can do. I want to see by gender what is the amount spent. I've chosen gender here and I've chosen amount spent, or I want to see orders. So I go click orders. Now it is showing gender wise what are the orders that they're making. Or I want to see basing on married status. I flip the parameter here. Basing on married status, it is changing the values now. Amount spent or orders. Or I can choose both. Orders, amount spent. Or I can change the order, amount spent. Okay. And then profession. I want to know by profession. I can flip the parameter here and accordingly I can make the graph in a single page rather than creating gender one, profession one. I can create a field parameter and accordingly I can make this graph so that it is easy for the end user so that they can flip and see what is the end graphs. Okay. How to create this field parameter? How to create this value parameters? Do I need to create any measures for it? Yes. What to create, how to create, all this I will teach you. And then how to make a visualization, and like from here, like a summary page, then a gender page, profession page, and then I want to know more in detail about, suppose I want to know male population. I go click here. I want to see more detail. Might be I did not enable it here. Let me see here. Yeah, drill through here. I want to go into detail view. Just a moment. So you see here, I want to know more detailed about female population. I can enable drill through, and then I can go to detailed view. How to set this up, how to enable a drill through option, all this will be covered. Any questions now here on this? Okay. And then this is sales, where we will learn measures, and this I've spoken about. This is about the DAX query views and DAX queries. And then Python practice. Let me hold this. Then, as I was telling you, how to use Python within Power BI. Okay, for visualizations or data transformations, both of it. So that will also be covered in this course. And then for enabling Python, what all modules you need to install, that will also I'll show you how to install and how to. You do not know Python, but end of the day, how to enable it. Okay, this is a pair plot. Okay, if I click on this, you see at the bottom, I have done a pair plot using matplotlib in Python, and then say a region column in x-axis, sales before discount in y-axis. This is using Python graph. This is using the normal Power BI scatter plot. Okay, how did I do this? How did I write this particular code, and how we enabled Python within Power BI? And even if someone asks you, if you are into data science and all, they will ask you, suppose violin chart. Violin chart is not in default available within Power BI, but you can use using Python. And then density plot. Okay, this is density plot. How can we get this? We have to use Seaborn, Matplotlib, all those things. And pair plot here again. Okay, what's the difference between this graph to this graph? This is a Power BI graph. This is a Python plot. How did I do that? If you see, I've enabled Python Visual here, and accordingly I've written some code, and that is visible. And then data transformation also for this particular data set. If you see here, I've used a Python script. Okay, we will write pandas here. Nothing fancy, don't get scared about it. But how to use it if you need it, how to write a Python script within here, I will teach you that also, so that that topic is covered. Okay, right. So any further question now? Okay. And what I have done, I have taken ITC, Indian Tobacco Company share download from NSC, and for basing on that also I have made a visualization wherein I'll understand what is, suppose today 5th of August 2025, I know the share price. I want to know what was the previous quarter share price, or previous month share price, or previous year share price also. That also, all those, how to write those measures and columns, that also I've done. I'll open that. Okay, this is basing on COVID data. Okay, across the region, what are the tooltip example, bookmark example, country filter example, all this, like multiple examples, navigate to tool cases. Okay. This is about how to use tooltips and bookmark and country filter. That will be taught to you. And share price, let me go there. Okay. So previous year price, same period last year, year on year increase. And if there is a, suppose last year today was a holiday, then how do we mention that? All those things, how to cover that up? And then do I need to write any measures here? Same period last year and the share price and the previous year price, previous month price. How to write these measures? That will also be covered to you. Okay, and how to create a calculated column if needed. Right. Let me go to the, then as I told you, PG admin. By the time it opens, the motive here in this course that I drive is not the fancy visuals, but how to play with the data. If someone, you have joined a project, they'll give you a data set, then they'll tell you build a visual. How can I draw better insights from the data? And how can I transform my data? How to use data transformation within Power BI and build visuals. That is what I will drive in this course. And all this Power BIs will be taught from scratch. As I told you, nothing on PowerPoint or Word. That is what is my motive when I drive this course. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so we will connect to these different data sets within Power BI. This is PostgreSQL. And these tables will connect within Power BI. We will do import mode, direct query mode, and accordingly we will generate visuals and how to use database connections. That I'll teach you. Any questions? No.
How did you connect Power BI with DB? So you'll
PostgreSQL. Good
uh,
question. So
okay.
yeah, I can show you that. This is one import mode and direct query mode. We can connect to multiple data sets within Power BI. Might be you are aware, but I can show you that. Just a moment. Okay. When you click on get data here, you have more option. Once you click on more option, you have database. So here you see we have PostgreSQL database. That is what I'm using now. Okay. PostgreSQL. And then when we connect, it will ask you for some credentials. I'll tell you how to use these credentials and how to set it up. What is server database, import mode or direct query mode, and then what is the SQL statement that we can write. I'll help you on that. Or if you're not only working on PostgreSQL, if suppose in your work environment you're using Snowflake or MySQL Server, accordingly you can go search here. Suppose I want Snowflake. I can click here, connect, and then it'll ask me a few details. Like every database has its own connection details. We just need to provide those details and write the SQL query that we want to, and accordingly we can build the visuals. Once you get the data into Power BI, like either an import mode or direct query mode, which I'll explain what. Once you get the data, transforming data is